And two MechWarriors, and welcome back to another episode of MegaMek as we continue the campaigns of the Striking Serpents. And last time we had a bit of a double whammy. Diamondback and Boa got to go in the field. Diamondback annihilated the competition within just a couple of rounds thanks to another probe mission. They're very good at that sort of thing. And Boa came along and got into a serious tangle with a couple of mechs and managed to capture a stalker. Excellent work was done. Of course, Otto over here almost got shot in the head. In fact, he did get shot in the head, as did Brick. But they are now recovering. At least, hopefully. Brick, are you recovering yet? Put you in the infirmary. Yeah, get back in the infirmary where you belong. But they will come out of that fully on. However, Adder is up and ready to rock. Looks like they have an enemy force that they need to take out another stand-up attacker. 50% of the enemy units need to be destroyed. So we shall oblige. Destroy enemy BPV. 50%. Turn that on. Oakley dokley. It looks like we're ready to rock and roll. I want a stalker. We have a lot of stalkers at this point. Oh, good. It's a top-down battle. So I can do this. Let's just get our people. Who's down here already? The Warhammer has been fielded. Looks like we have a long distance to cover, but that's not necessarily a bad thing given the loadout and proclivities of the lance that is being fielded here right now. Alrighty. Looks like we have a lot of them. The infirmary bricks on their own. Alright, full on ahead. All we need to do is get in tight with them and annihilate them, and they're going to try and move to us as quickly as they possibly can. Maps like this make me happy for the two PPCs. It is a nice loadout, isn't it? Twin PPC and an AC-20. You're just dishing out all kinds of big chunky damage. Long range, you say, got it covered. Yep, everybody has some of that covered. Mainly because, you know, assaults tend to be rather vulnerable because they're not very fast. The normal Atlas I would not classify as a particularly good mech. Here, and you can move forward. Got to go around the little pond. You will go over the little pond. You just need to get on top of it first. There we go. The formation's breaking up a bit, but still no targets for this round. It's gonna take a little bit, and then it's gonna be a big clash. We're just gonna all be on top of each other. Starting to think Discount Dan had a sale on stalkers. We have so many of them. It's crazy, isn't it? Like, we can't get away from stalkers. Although, the stalker is really good, don't get me wrong. The stalker's a phenomenal battle mech. The combat computer that it has equipped on it just makes it one of the best mechs for many, many decades. For good reason. Looks like they're balling up a little bit. This ought to be unpleasant. Stalkers weren't filled with bees. The Zeus? What about the Zeus? The Zeus is not compared to a stalker at all. The Battlemaster, however, is going to be probably a primary target for a little bit. Don't have a shot. You do have a shot. What you got? It's an 11. I mean, it could be worse. 12, 12, 12, 13, 10, and 11. The Banshee. Yeah, I'm going to focus on the Vulcan. Go to LRMs and we'll pop a PPC at him and we'll see if he explodes. That is my hope. My fervent hope. That stalker has a shot on a Vulcan. That's a 13. That's not going to happen. And finally, we have Vanguard, who has an 8 for his triple large laser strike. And 9s for his medium lasers. No, we'll just fire the 8s. Alright, Warhammer missed everything. The Vulcan managed to hit the Stalker managed to hit it, so the Stalker PM, which is Talik, managed to hit the Vulcan with his LRM-10. All 10 missiles of that actually hit, so that was pretty good. Banshee missing everything he has. He has an AC-5 on a PPC because he's the bad Banshee. A friendly Phoenix Hawk managed, or no, enemy Phoenix Hawk did manage to hit it with a large laser, which is unpleasant. And then we, however, did respond and hit their Vulcan with a large laser out of Vanguard, but that was about it. Watch the Vulcan just come on screen. And somewhere out there, Psycho is literally going bald. Nah, Psycho doesn't know about all of this. This is not his fight, not his war. He is elsewhere in the universe doing other things. Far more important things than getting involved in brush fires between minor regional powers. He sent Pantheon. They can do the job. He doesn't need to bother with it. Life's about to get very crunchy very, very soon. Not anyway. Also, when is there a good Banshee? There's a couple of good Banshees. One of them has an AC-20 on board. Come on, Confederation is a minor regional power. I mean, at this moment, yeah. The Capellan Confederation at this moment has a dagger at its heart. Beetlejuice, until like last month, was partially occupied by enemy forces, and the actual number of stars that they control was like a third of what they had at the start of the Third Succession War. The Capellan Confederation at this point is incredibly depleted and extremely weak. Eventually they will recover, but at the moment they are not doing well. Later this Iraq 5 Banshee that's starving. I will have to look into that. That sounds like fun. Some of the Banshees downgraded the engine, put in more guns. Basically, they gave it the Charger treatment, and that Charger treatment is actually pretty good. Beast. That'll be an 8, or an 11, or a 13, or a 10, or 11. Yeah, I'm just gonna fire a whole bunch of missiles at you and hope that you explode. We'll see how far we get doing that one. Twist. If I wanted to fire an SRM at your face, it would be a 7. That's really tempting. How about a PPC? That'd be an 8. I kind of want to clear you out, but I also don't want to ignore the long range, but I think I'm going to have to. All right, burst him with fire. And sure, throw in the flamer. Actually, no, the flamer can't even bother to hit. Don't even waste it. Eventually, the Lorgor at Fossa decides the Capellan Confederation is the most awesome nation with the real ultimate power retcon the Fourth Succession War ensues. I'm putting an AC-20 on my Bushwhacker. This should be funny. I wouldn't do that. It's just so much weight. Although, it is a 5.8 and it normally has an LB-10, so you're only adding 4 tons onto it. What are you going to remove for that? Pull out the large laser, I guess? Or you could scrap one of the missile systems. The current missile setup that it has is just pretty meh. It's what, an LRM 10 and an SRM 4? So it's pretty meh. And then it has 1, or is it 2 medium lasers? Or does it not have medium lasers at all? I thought it had at least some. But large laser, 2 missile packs, and the LB-10 is the standard that I'm thinking of. You're playing Robotech, never mind. Also, the AC-20 Banshee is just an AC-20. It's not that great. Disagree. It's very fun. Looks like this Vulcan is about to get dunked on by everything they can possibly aim at him. Hello, that'll be 7s. I won't bother with the 9. We'll just work with that. Vanguard could probably turn to him and completely obliterate him. I may do that. It's a 6. The 6 on a Crusader. Yeah, large lasers, because you never know when you rip a Crusader open and get to the fresh gooey center. Alright, looks like the Stalker managed to hit the Vulcan with his SRMs, doing an okay job. 3 armor critical on that. Oh, yeah, 3 armor critical and a headshot off that one. His medium laser is damaged at this point. Looks like Kager missing both of his PPCs, but the large laser does manage to hit home. Unfortunately, it's an arm. The Banshee missing all of his fire. The Stalker 20C fires both PPCs, misses one, hits the other. Right leg is down to 2 internal structure remaining. This is unfortunate for him because he can fall over very easily. Griffin shooting at our Stalker, missing everything. Stalker 3AJ hits that Crusader, center torso, left leg, center torso. Okay, so we're digging a little bit, but we're not that deep. We're gonna need a little bit more work on that one. Vulcan almost fire on the Stalker does manage to hit him with that medium laser that he just lost. Oh wow, no, this is the 5T one. Okay, he's actually dangerous. Hits the Stalker JJ quite hard, actually. Shadowhawk friendly, shoots at a Vulcan with an AC-5 and hits, but who cares? Stalker stays standing, the Crusader does not. Just three large laser bursts and the Crusader goes backwards. Okay, I can work with that. As long as AC-20 holds out, it says that's shit, it's good. It's a fairly fast mag. Was there ever a Battletech player who did not spend hours of their life yapping about mech setups? I've never won. Well, it's fun to do. Of course people talk about it. It's the same as in Warhammer. We talk about our army compositions all the time, debate the various uses of them, and whether or not something is absolutely terrible, like the current codex. I hate you, Games Workshop. You'll never find. Alright, so I think I just want to have the PM join you on this one, although it's not really designed for that. I'm going to back it up. I'm just going to walk it away. I'm just going to say, no, we're not playing with you. Bring Kager just surging forward at maximum speed. Kager is still not having any abilities in melee combat other than his just sheer determinedness. I'm a Nurgle Death Guard mechanized fan. Nurgle had some really awesome things last codex, like your super Terminators. Dead never die. All flying drones and mortar tanks. Oh, those flying bug things are just... I have nightmares from last codex about that crap. Oh, they just kept coming. They were so hard to kill. They wiped out my infantry squad so badly. Get that Rack 5 Banshee is one I remember from Classic Battletech Design Forum. It's not canon? Ah, okay. I think only an AC-20 is a bad idea, even the Hunchy has medium lasers. Yes, but the Hunchy is not bearing down on you and about to punch at you with the weight of a 90-ton mech. Come on, Dutchy, figure out what you're doing. The Vulcan's in trouble. Just run him away. He's not. He's in a great position to go to the back of the T-20C or engage the Shadowhawk in whatever sort of shenanigans he desires. Or he could do like the Phoenix Hawk just did and signed his own death warrant. I would do this. Or if I had the movement, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How fast does the Vulcan move? In a duel the Banshee with Rick? Yep. It has 2 AC-20s, 1 gun, and a pair of fists. Oh, it's 95 tons? Excellent. 1 AC-20 is terrible for that way. You're not understanding. It's all about the memes. Believe in the memes. Alright, I think I want to utterly annihilate this Phoenix Hawk for being stupid. So let's punish him, shall we? Or I could punish the Crusader for existing. After all, a Crusader's existence is pain. The pain of knowing that you will never quite be good enough to accomplish the things you wanted to have done in life. It's harsh, but true. We all know it. We all know it. Crusader ain't fooling nobody. That's why I put some machine gun bomb in his chest. Double sevens! Oh, we're plus 10 already. Jesus. Mech just stacks heat so easily. 4s and 5s? Really? Oh, this is unfortunate for you. You came into the medium laser burst range. Life only gets more painful from here. I'm still annoyed they despecialized Imperial Guard. Yup, I'm right there with you. Have invested with melta bombs, camo cloaks, carapace armor. Don't remind me of the good old days of 5th edition. You could do cool shit with your vets. Victor's Getty can jump with the gun AC-20. It also has 2 medium lasers, a pair of machine guns, and a missile launcher. Beck's Crusader has been very useful, admittedly because until last night I didn't have an archer. Just those things too. Alrighty, so how did this shake out? Well, our Capellan buddy did absolutely nothing. The Warhammer, on the other hand, did manage to nail the Stalker in the left leg, which is going to be a problem if those lights get any closer to us. Mediums, they're not actually lights. Jaeger opened fire, missed 1, but then hit with his 2 other LRM-15s. 45 missile potential, he hit 17. That was not great, but hey, we're going to work with it. The Crusader opening fire and manages to hit the Stalker with 1 of his LRM-15s, which hit for 9 damage. Not too terrible yet. Stalker PM, however, fires at the Phoenix Hawk, misses with the first LRM, then hits with the second, and then misses with the PPC, giving that Phoenix Hawk only 6 damage, which is not great. Battlemaster fires at us and misses with PPC. The Atlas Kyogre manages to nail with 1 of his PPCs but misses with everything else. The Banshee opening up does finally hit something with his PPC. It's the Stalker 3JJ. Needed a 10, he rolled an 11. Stalker 20C opens fire at that Crusader, hits him with 1 PPC, but I think we're stacking up about half damage at a time. Centurion missing everything he's got, the Griffin missing everything he's got, but then the 3JJ opens up immediately. His first medium laser strikes the head of the Crusader, and then proceeds to sandblast the entire mech. Right arm is now completely open, but frankly, we don't have a blow-through just yet. Probably should have done a needlepoint exam, but I kind of wanted to see if I could get a little bit luckier on the way that all of these lasers stacked up rather than hitting basically 1 of every location. Phoenix Hawk opening fire hits with the machine guns, so not too worried about that. Stalker stands, but the Crusader does not. His right arm is down to 5 internal structure remaining. He's having a bit of a bad day. The Vulcan apparently attempted to kick the Stalker PM, failed at that, and then fell over on his behind. So no nimble Vulcan for him. S-Series Banshees are good, they're just 3-5, but they have more weapons. Let's see, rocking a 3-5. I really need that Gauss. Yes, you need a Gauss rifle. I'm just getting a light already. I mean, you are a Stalker. Yes, you're absolutely losing armor, which is why Kyogre is blitzing to the front as fast as he can. Ugh. Stalker PM can shift forward. We're going to engage those Star Destroyers from point blank range. Faster, faster. The 2 Atlases need to be there quicker. Hit him with 10 LBX-10s. What? 10 LVX-10s. Where are you getting that kind of weight? I'm confused. Alright, we're gonna move one, then turn for one. Because the 20C is getting very, very slow. Hit the SRM button. Well, it's the Jaeger that charged forward. I mean, they're both charging forward, but yeah, Jaeger's out front. Oh, it looks like it's about to be close quarters combat between a Warhammer and an Atlas. This can only end in tears. Hopefully the enemies. Do I really? Yes. If I do this, you can't hit me with your SRMs. Vroom. Defense. In one campaign, the GM hit us with a company that had 10 of them. That sounds unpleasant. Don't say gas rifle. I'm scared of the 10 platoon line of gas rifle Crusader melee time. No, because if you were in melee, you would be standing right in front of both of his SRM6s, and that would be very unpleasant. So I'm going to avoid the melee for this round, and then we're going to maneuver around him and do a little bit more. Have me and Jaeger stomp? We shall see. Okay, Ogre, you might have a friend. You've got a friend in me. Hi. My name is Medium Laser, and I approve this message. 4 medium lasers and a pair of SRM6 file up for the prototype. Hopefully you enjoyed that pain. I can only hope that the more pain that I deliver to you, the happier my soul will be. Double tap, hit all with that, see what it explodes. Character's gonna turn and deal with this Phoenix Hawk because I did not say that you were allowed to shoot at me. We'll go with all that, see what ends up actually sticking on that. The 20C does not really have a shot. He's starting to get a little bit dusty and starting to show. We shall fire a single PPC and be done with that. That will get back under temperature. We shall then open fire with all of our medium lasers now that we're off to your side. Much less likely to waste fire. 34. Do I want to be +9? I do not. In this current situation, I do not wish to be +9. I saw something that I didn't think looked very good. Oh no, this might be bad. Start with the mech and went into battle. Alright, Warhammer did not accomplish a whole heck of a lot. I mean... Oh, never mind. He actually did. Did manage to get a small laser strike on the face of the Atlas, but the Atlas had edge to push that away. Return fire from the from Jaeger immediately with medium lasers to head. So he says a small laser is not going to do it. Oh my God! Wow. So, okay. Jaeger demonstrating that he is bored of being at long range and is now going to walk up close and personal to you and blow your bloody head off with 2 perfectly accurate medium laser strikes, thus decapitating the Warhammer. He crit the cockpit, he didn't even blow it apart. So good on you with that. That's a mostly intact Warhammer that is now not operating anymore. The Crusader opening fire on the Stalker 3JJ, he can only fire his medium lasers and machine guns. Machine guns missed, the medium lasers did hit. Had we been in front of him, he would have also been able to add in a pair of SRM6s. That would have been uncomfortable because the SRM6s on the Crusader are on its hips, which means they cannot turn and they only have the front 90-degree arc. It's very useful to know that. Jaeger is the one I underestimate the most often. I agree. Stalker PM opening fire on that Crusader. Right torso is now exposed to all of the world and continuing to dig into it, as is the left leg. Armor has been destroyed on that one. No critical hits managed to get through on that one. The Battlemaster opening fire on the Atlas does hit. Oh no, actually doesn't hit him with anything. So Kyogre then opens fire and proceeds to miss every single shot except for one. He had a 40% chance to hit. He rolled a 6, 5, 7, 6, 6, 3, 8. That was pretty bad. Apparently Jaeger has sucked away all of the talent from Kyogre in order to make that perfect headshot. The Banshee coming up, finally hitting something with his AC5 this time, so he's doing well there. Stalker 20C fires his PPC, nails that right leg armor destroyed, that's exposed. Very uncomfortable. Centurion accomplishing absolutely nothing in his life, neither does the Griffin. Stalker 3JJ starts to unload, right leg getting nailed off of this one. Reduced in health, hits the head of the Crusader once again, that's the second hit in total. Needed a 5 to stay conscious, he rolled a 4. The pilot is no longer in control of his mech. Unfortunately, that doesn't matter because the follow-up medium lasers set off the ammunition bins on the Crusader, thus giving the Crusader to the fate that he was always meant to have. The pilot does, however, get away perfectly free because he was ejected automatically. You don't need to be conscious for that. You are safe. The Phoenix Hawk opening fire on the Atlas hits him with a single medium laser, so not too terrible back there. The Vulcan VL-5T opens fire and manages to do a little bit of light work. Does hit a 3 armor critical on the right arm on the Stalker 20C, but it is re-rolled with edge and shoved away. our friendly Shadowhawk, opening fire on the Vulcan, manages to get a hit through armor critical through the rear of that and hit the engine, which is actually brilliant because +7 heat on that design is going to be wonderful. Atlas is going to walk up here, and Kyogre is about to lay the smack down. Missed the first punch. Oh, no, hits the first punch, misses the second. He was kicked. He did not fall over. However, the left arm took the brunt of that AC-10 that was just fired at him, and so the punch was mostly useless. I'm going to kick that bastard. Which bastard are you going to kick? The Vulcan over here? Oh, okay. I will have you focus the Vulcan then. The pilot is immobile because the pilot is unconscious, which is something that a lot of us are going to have to learn. Kyogre's going to rush on forward. He's going to continue to be a threat and dangerous, as will Jaeger. I actually want to see if I can't position Jaeger for his most useful of weapon systems. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that'll be a little bit too close. Screw it, I'll go for that. I will go for the forest for that extra bit of protection. He tried to attack you? Yes, he did. I'm talking all this smack. The Vulcan has not moved yet. Okay, the PM needs to keep on the roll. Well, honestly, I kind of would prefer to have the 20C with me, but the 20C has been distracted fighting a Vulcan, so we're just going to have to live with that. Oh, you did not just do that. Okay, so the Battlemaster has turned to the side and has broken contact with several of the units. I can use that very much to my advantage. We're going to burn him. We're going to burn him down. Vulcan shoots and sees the Stalker slow to the ground. It was at this moment. He knew. He fucked up. I have an AC-20, and unfortunately for him, he's the only thing in range. Unfortunately, he beat you. He beat you in the initiative race. I don't know if you're going to be able to bring that AC-20 to bear. Vanguard free Battlemaster. Oh, he's running. He won none of that. He's gone. Oh, that's a big jump right there. 14 heat. With his ability to sink heat crippled because he now takes +7 heat per turn because of that engine grid. Can't have the Stalker flip arms. It could have, but he ran away. Flame Raging Cypher was hanging the Vulcan with kick-ass. I mean, it tried. Alright, we're about to get into some close range Mortal Kombat. Banshee versus what am I calling him? Atlas, right. Jaeger versus it. It's going to be fun. Let's focus on the 3JJ and what it's about to do to you. Oh, I wish I could do that, but no. I don't have the heat for the large lasers. If I did, I would use them. Whole bunch of medium lasers, and that'll be fine. The Stalker 3 PM could start turning around and start engaging other things, but this range bracket is just too perfect. We're going to fire all that and have him have a lovely day. Kyogre does not have a target on anybody except the people over here. I could shoot this Phoenix Hawk, but I'm not going to. Because I have bigger fish to fry. A large laser and then a whole bunch of... Actually, I think it might be better to fire the PPCs into the Griffin. Because that is 28 damage right there versus 1, 2... Yeah, it's more. It's more if I do the medium lasers, but I like the accuracy chance better. Keep in mind that I have a combat computer. I can switch one medium laser for a large laser. That is true. I should probably use that more often. I just don't. So I'll have to keep that in mind. Alright, let's see how this round turned out. Enemy Battlemaster missed his first shot, hits his second, missed his third shot, hits his fourth, and then opens fire with the SRM-6, which just splatters all over the place. But the 3JJ is still intact. Lowest, it looks like, is down to 2 armor on his right torso. It's getting really light. The Atlas Jaeger managing to miss most of his medium lasers. Does hit with one of them and one of the SRM-6s, but he's not causing that much damage on the Banshee just yet. Banshee does return fire and hits it with an AC-5. Stalker 3JJ opens fire with his initial barrage to immediately strike the head of the target, and then proceeds to just drill into him for a little while. Didn't get any penetrations, but that will be on the way. Centurion does nothing, like he's done nothing this entire game so far. Stalker PM misses his first LRM-10, hits the second, and then his PPC nails into that Battlemaster on the left arm and crits out the shoulder and the machine gun. Griffin coming along, firing at the Atlas Kyogre, accomplishes nothing. Kyogre's Atlas immediately returns fire and hits the Griffin in the head with a PPC, scores critical hit on 2 locations, and he rolls life support, life support. I mean, it was a really cool hit. Alrighty. Second PPC did not connect. The large laser, however, did wrap up with that one into the right leg. So many headshots. Yes, it's very headshots. He needed a 3 to stay conscious. Beanstalk firing into the back of the Kyogre's Atlas, only hits his right leg and his left torso rear with a machine gun. The Stalker 20C fires both of the PPCs, and neither of them are able to connect off that one. The Vulcan also missing everything. Everybody stays standing at the end of the round, and nobody needs to punch. And the pilot who ejected is now conscious, and the reinforcements have now arrived. Life is about to get very tangled. We're going to have to be very careful about what it is we are doing, otherwise we will die. Life support, good thing there is ammo on this planet, otherwise the pilot would be dead. There is indeed Atmo on the planet though. Alrighty. I do need this Battlemaster to move so I can take advantage of it. I need a lot of things actually. 26, you may move forward. The Vulcan may try and get behind us, but we can do something about that. Phoenix Hawk offering a beautiful shot at the back. I shall oblige. It's not the best mech to attempt this with, but, you know, we're going to get a shot. Vulcan dropping down a level. And it still didn't move. Nobody important moved. This is a problem. I need to wipe out these two units probably at least in order to get that 50% value. We are through on the Battlemaster's one side though. He's down to 7 health on his head and his left arm's exposed, but that's just the left arm. Jaeger, I wanted to get you into a punch-up, but clearly that's not about to happen. Back it up. Draw them out. Ah, the Battlemaster decided to do that. I'ma do this. Big Mama Jamma. And hope that you don't see me. Oh shit, he saw me. Right torso is about to be exposed. Actually, Griffin, no, you're taking out your target. Alright, let's immediately see if I can do some pretty influential stuff, like Alpha Strike everything that Jaeger's got. Plus 16. Here's your first ammo explosion. Ammo explosion's on a 19. So I can't add that. But I am gonna go way through the roof on this one. We got air support coming soonish? Nope. No air support today. Alright, see, the PM needs to get some work done here. That'll be a 10, that's not good enough. I came after you. I will have you. Alright, PPC, that's from 6s, and the medium laser. That'll be plus 7? Yeah, I'm good with that. You don't have a shot, but you do have a shot on him! Oh, looks like we're gonna gang up on the Battlemaster today with some of the real heaviest. PPC, large laser burst. I will keep the medium lasers nice and cooled and cycled and ready to go. There's a Vulcan, that's a 10, that's a 9, that's an 8. It's just getting better and better. Unfortunately, I can't shoot at your primary target. I'm just gonna have to blitz everything I've got into that Battlemaster. Stalker's about to get shot at a lot, but I mean, that's sort of the price of doing business out here. Let's go. Large laser. Fire. Skip. Fire, 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 fire. Alright, so that puts us at plus 2. Yeah, I can do that. Bazap. Okay, I don't think we actually got any good penetration on it, but we're gonna hope. So the Banshee just got lit up by all 3 of Jaeger's missile launchers, and he did a 695. It's 20 missiles out of a potential 45. Great. Building 16 heat. Where's the facepalm emoji? Jaeger can handle it. The Battlemaster did shoot at the Stalker with a single medium laser, hit his right leg. No accomplishment on that one. But yeah, Jaeger not only hit with all 3 of his LRM-15s, he then proceeded to hit with his next medium laser, and then missed his SRM-6. But unfortunate. Would have been a little bit nicer if he managed to accomplish that, but I will work with what I've got because, you know, 3 medium lasers and 3 LRM-15s is not a bad amount of damage. The Banshee then proceeded to miss everything he fired. Stalker PM hits the Phoenix Hawk in the right arm with his PPC, follows up with the SRM strike, which does hit the head. That's his first total hit on that one, and he did manage to stay conscious. He managed to burn through with enough SRM fire that the right leg and the center torso rear got breached, but it didn't fully get through, or at least no useful criticals. Centurion opening fire does hit a Stalker with the large laser, unfortunate, in the right arm. Phoenix Hawk missing his first shot with the large laser. Medium laser follows up onto 3. JJ hits the left arm. MekHQ opening fire on the Battlemaster with 2 PPCs and a large laser. Hits right arm, right torso, so he is through on the Battlemaster's right torso entirely, which is beautiful. Griffin accomplishing absolutely nothing again. Phoenix Hawk, once again, another enemy Phoenix Hawk, manages to medium laser Atlas K Ogre and hits him in the center torso rear with a machine gun, but other than that, no serious damage has been dealt. Stalker 20C misses his first PPC, but the second one lands a solid hit on the left leg of the Battlemaster. Assassin coming in, finally blowing through the right torso armor on the Stalker. That will mean the Stalker is going to have to start pulling back now at this point. But it wasn't any serious damage yet. That could change relatively soon, especially as the Vulcan 5T bursts into the left leg of the Battlemaster. Wait, what? Oh, never mind. The Vulcan 5T accomplished nothing. Fired at the PM, he missed. So now the 3JJ and all of his burning effects. Everything that he can potentially try. Back taking not such a good idea. It's what he's got. Next round I cool down while you hit every spot. Good thing I'm pulling up. I have mostly fresh armor. So Vanguard finally opening up with things, manages to get that back headshot. That's the second hit. The pilot unfortunately stays conscious, but burning in quite heavily. Another medium laser into that head, blows it clean off, and the Battlemaster goes down. Why? Because weak head armor, that's why. Alright, Battlemaster is now out of the fight. The JJ unfortunately going down. That's really bad. I needed him up and able to jump, and that's not gonna happen this round. Yeah. He tried, he failed. So Jaeger unfortunately overcame his heatsink. He was at plus 16, which requires him to make a 4-up check with his 2d6. Unfortunately, he rolled a 3. And so the Atlas Jaeger shuts down. He then needs to make a piloting skill roll, which he needed to roll a 6. He rolled a 5 and fell over. So yeah, Jaeger burned himself really good to give that opportunity. Unfortunately, it wasn't fully needed because of the headshots. So Jaeger's gonna have to hopefully turn back on. What kind of battle? Oh yeah, we've got a lot more to kill. We have a lot to kill. Oh, looks like the Banshee also went down. Immobile, prone, shut down. This is not a place you want to be. Oh, it looks like they're being attracted. They're coming towards it. 20C, rush forward. With all of your crippled heat sinking capability. What about Play Sword? Sprogue is out of it enough. I give him a pass. The man is injured. Allow him to rest easy. Got to get the Stalker up and running. That's going to be one hell of a task. Oh. Hello. You have just walked into my punching field. I don't know if you meant to do that. This could hurt a lot. It's the perfect trap. There's a lot of units trying to gang up on this Atlas. This may actually be the thing that we need to get the Stalker the hell out of Dodge. Alright, he got up, rolled a 6, barely got up. Alright, you can't do anything, you're offline. The PM is now at close range. SRM-6s, active and alive. Flare them missiles, everything you got. Okay, there we go. Atlas Kyogre, hi. Target, your target. We're not going to fire PPCs. We're going to fire large lasers, and then we're going to fire medium lasers. Then we're going to fire flamers, because this is the best opportunity that I'm going to have to kill you. 20C has moved into a position where he has a PPC shot. Unfortunately, he's starting to get really toasty. I'd like to fire his AC-20 just to, chill. But sadly, it's not looking like I've got a great opportunity to do that. We're just too limited on range. He's just going to have to pop one PPC shot and move on. And then he'll be in range for his actual close quarters weapons in the next round. Oof, yeah, fire at the assassin. Maybe you'll get a headshot. Maybe it'll be really, really cool. Speaking of maybe it'll be really cool, I could try and burn you down, or you down. It's really tempting to burn you down, or you down. 7s, 7s, 6. Large laser burst. Alright, we'll sink all that. Look up Jaeger. Come on, let's start if we can need. Yeah, we're gonna need you to get back online soon. Alright, so the Banshee opens fire and, of course, manages to nail the left torso, left leg, and center torso of the Atlas because it ain't moving. Our friendly Shadowhawk shoots at a Banshee and manages to hit with an AC5 and then misses with everything else. The Wasp open fire on Jaeger. More damage. It's just going to add up. He's down to 7 on the left torso. Centurion digging into him. Left leg and right arm. So that left torso is still protected. Phoenix Hawk shooting at Jaeger as well. Left arm again. Not hitting the danger spot. The PM opening fire. So the Stalker PM opening fire on that Phoenix Hawk. And just opens fire with all the missiles he's got. And manages to roll another headshot. That'll be 2. Unfortunately, he rolls 11 on his head. And so he doesn't need to take any injuries. He then blows through the left arm entirely and just shatters everything inside of it, which is great. Enemy Griffin opening fire on Jaeger, hitting the right arm, still safe. The Phoenix Hawk hitting Atlas in the right leg, right arm, left arm, center, torso, rear, still safe. Kyogre starts opening fire on that Banshee. First shot is through that right arm. That's not where I want it to be. Medium laser, then right leg, center, torso, rear, left leg, right leg. Hits him in the head with a flamer because, yeah. And then the other flamer goes into the right arm, which has critted out the lower arm and upper arm in its entirety. So a whole bunch of sandblast into the back, but no actual penetration just yet. Assassin opening fire on the Jaeger as well. Hits him in the head, but it's rerolled with the edge into the right arm. Single armor point remaining on that one, but it is just an arm, so who cares. More fire into the right arm, shattering the shoulder. That's going to be expensive. Another head. These head inserts, I know. The Vulcan opening fire, left arm, right torso, down to, needs 2 roll 6, blah, blah, blah. Oh, hits him in the head, apparently. 0 edge remaining on Jaeger, 2 damage to the right torso, he's down to 18 on that. Stalker, finally, the 20Z opening fire. The BBC does hit the right arm of the Assassin, which shatters it and breaks out the lower arm. 2 structure remaining on that one. This ball, assuming this arm is still attacked at the end of this, please turn on your mic. Thank you. The Wolverine opening fire on the Atlas, right leg, again Jaeger, left torso, 0 armor remaining, and then the SRM-6 follow-up. Critical hit on the right arm, no effect. Critical hit on the left torso. LRM-15 gets crit out, and then another crit on the left torso, but no effect, and then the left torso again, which damages a heatsink. But after all of that, then the 3JJ comes in and triple beams the left torso and left arm of the Banshee. So down to 7 armor on the left torso. Banshee stays standing. The Jaeger is not dead, and it's time for the punching. So let's see if I can't dig deep. Griffin stomping right leg of the Stalker PM. Right leg is damaged. Phoenix Hawk stomping on the Jaeger. Left arm, that's fine. The Shadowhawk stomps on the left leg. The foot is crit. This was friendly attacking the Assassin, so that Assassin's in trouble. The Vulcan stomps on the Jaeger, hits the right torso, armor still holding. Assassin stomps at the Shadowhawk, left leg, armor holds. Kyogre comes in a swinging. The first punch rams right into that left torso rear, 0 armor remaining, but then the second punch hits the right arm, which blows it apart, transfers the damage into the right torso rear, which still hits the armor that is remaining. The Banshee drops from being punched in the back by basically an AC-20, and everybody else stays standing. Even the Assassin stays standing. Okay. And at the start of this round, the Jaeger is online. Gentle suggestion to add our members to give T-Rack a maximum amount of heat he's allowed to use. It had to be done! What was that about Jaeger being able to handle it? He handled it, he's alive, he's right there. Who's still active and rocking and rolling? That would be Jaeger. Alright, so we're just gonna continue to beat the ever-living shit out of that prone mech, and then we're just gonna continue to do that. Shift you forward. They're providing some real long-range fire support. I don't think I can keep the Stalker out of this. The Stalker's gonna have to, or the JJ out of it. His mech took so much punishment. I know, it's like the entire team was shooting at him because it was offline. The alternative was to have your mech down, and to be blunt, and I do like Jaeger, but his mech is less important than your mech. Priorities here. Jaeger needs to wait a little bit, or at least as long as I can let him wait. Or I can draw them in. Jaeger can get up. That'll move him 3. His back will be towards the enemy. But his rear armor is actually fairly intact. His center torso is still at 42 health. That's impressive. You are the large laser specialist with all of the high energy beams. It is important to keep you alive. This will be +1. Get up! He got up. Okay, he's on the way. He's on the way. Wow, this gaggle down here is just not something I want to fight. I want to get you in a position after I know where you're going in a position. So that means the PM needs to move. I wanted the PM to be able to do like something useful, but I don't know if it will be. How badly roughed up were you? I'm so close to blowing through in important areas, and we just didn't. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Dr. PM is gonna stand in line. Obviously, we need AoE. Artillery is not very useful, unfortunately. Are bolt-on AoE rockets a thing in MegaMek? No, they are not. Hasn't moved yet. He's gonna move and he's gonna get out of there. Okay, can I move into a position where I can see? Yes, I can. Can I walk to that position? I cannot. Okay, so we're jumping to that position. Boost. I can't pull the stalker out just yet, but I would like the stalker not to be ripped in half by this mission. It's gonna hurt. If I can force that Banshee to move and know where he's gonna be, I can break him. But I have to know where he's gonna be. If he runs from me, I can chase. We need to start thinning the herd. At this point, we're so committed to the Banshee that we can't not. The idea of turning to start engaging the lights and the mediums is not useful. You won't kill them fast enough compared to killing the Banshee at the moment. So, we're thinning the herd by killing the biggest BPV to try and end the mission faster. I should have figured you were going to be able to do that. Your left torso is towards me. How badly fucked up is your left torso? That may have been a mistake. That may have been a significant mistake. Oh, yes. I might be able to take significant advantage of this. Alright, so Jaeger is out of this fight, pretty much. I mean, he can turn and engage his Phoenix Hawk, and he probably will, because he's clearly that kind of badass. However, he's not going to be quite as aggressive as he was before with his heat build-up. He doesn't need to be anymore. PM Stalker. APC, SRM6. Alright, the medium laser first. Then the SRM6s. Puts me at +1. I'd love to get the PPC in, but it's just too much heat. Bend to this. Skip, skip. Everything else. Now we're going to throw in the flamers though. Plus, yeah, that's fine. +6 is okay. And then, ooh. You are in fact the one that I want. Ooh. Darn it, we don't have a shot on the Banshee. Well, if I can't shoot the Banshee, hi son. I don't know why you got so close to me, but I hope you enjoyed the pain. There we go. Okay, so Banshee miss. Oh no, the Banshee hits both of his shots. Never mind. Despite being at his point blank range, he still manages to roll an 8 and 11, which was required. Jaeger opens fire on the Phoenix Hawk, opens up that left leg to some damage. Unfortunately, his SRM follow-ups were not quite able to finish him off. Wasp opening fire, they're chasing the Jaeger off away. Stalker opening fire on the Banshee. Medium laser misses, but then he hits with his first SRM6, then his second SRM6, then his third SRM6, all managing to smash pretty decently into the target. We are through the right leg, but that's not quite what I wanted to be through on. I wanted to be through the torso. But we're getting close. Centurion CN9AL is going to hit the Atlas Kyogre with his large laser. Starting to bleed into that, unfortunately. The Phoenix Hawk amazingly misses every single shot against Kyogre, which is pretty decent. Kyogre then starts opening fire on this Banshee. Left torso immediately crunched through. And we're starting to try for critical effect. 1 critical fail, 2 critical fail, 3 critical fail, 4 critical fail, 5 critical fail. Holy Jesus Christ. 5 criticals failed. Oh, that sucks. It's been right on through this one. I skipped the Banshee for Kyogre. Unfortunately, Kyogre wasn't able to finish it. So yeah, the left torso and right torso were just absolutely blitzed, but that 40% chance of a critical hit, not a single one got through. Like, he got damage onto the mech, but he didn't do that. Griffin opening fire at the 20C Stalker does manage him with 6 of his missiles. The Phoenix Hawk opening fire on Jaeger, left arm getting pretty beat up, as is the right arm, but those are not important areas at the moment. The Stalker 20C opening fire, hitting the Banshee in the right leg, getting it weakened, and then the left arm, because that's what we needed. Assassin opening fire on the Stalker 3JJ, hitting him in the left torso with a medium laser, missing everything else. The Vulcan not doing anything useful. And then Vanguard comes in, immediately blowing off the right arm of the Assassin and starting to drill, hits the ammunition and turns it into a smoldering crater. Good job. Apparently also the pilot did not have a good time trying to land, but he is still conscious. Wolverine opening fire, hitting Kyogre a little bit. Hits him in the left torso with a 3-bar critical, got re-rolled, then hit him in the head, got re-rolled. He's running out of edge. He's down to... Oh no, he's out of edge. Kyogre's out of edge and just took that shot right to the face. So that is starting to become unfortunate. Shadowhawk opening fire on the Banshee as well. Left arm accomplished nothing. Kyogre stands tall, but the Banshee does not falling on down, blows out its right leg entirely. It shatters completely, and the right torso finally crits out that PPC, leaving him with only an AC 5. Not for like, I know you got like 6 criticals on it. It was amazing. Fire harder, make the lasers go faster. Vanguard always makes pretty much correct. All right, so the Banshee's down. The problem with the Banshee being down is I didn't get to punch it with one arm. All right, the Griffin managing to stomp on the Stalker PM's leg. The Wasp stomping the Stalker PM's leg. However, despite all that, stays standing. So we are rocking. And with that, 50% BPV destroyed. Whew. That was interesting. Heavy damage on the 3JJ, heavy damage on Lady Freya, light damage on the Bulwark, and apparently everybody else undamaged. Shadowhawk is alive. Kyogre, of course, has taken an injury from that bullet to the face. There is a Banshee, which did not escape. It is missing a leg. AC many pieces. But the engine's still intact. You guys want it? AC 5, PPC destroyed entirely. Small laser on the head, also crit out. Did not have a good time. Ooh, also that Warhammer is basically totally intact. A little bit of light damage in the cockpit. Lady Freya has an appointment in the next spot back in face. Let's ignore the Banshee. It's not worth the salvage. Oof, painful. That's a Banshee. But it looks so cool. Look at the artwork. Oh, this artwork is so good. I really do like this artwork. This is one of the S series Banshees though, because you got your SRM. Is it LRM 5 or no? It's an SRM 6 up here, PPC here, and some sort of auto cannon here. If anything, take the hammer. I mean, we don't have to. We can just leave it on the ground. The Battlemaster similarly is also on the ground. Shoulder crit is unfortunate, but I mean it's intact, mostly, kind of. Just a little extra pain and damage has been issued to it. Lady Freya gets an oil bath. Don't we need to save salvage for the end of the contract? A little bit of extra salvage will help you at the end of the contract. This is true. Yeah, 2 good headshots, and the Banshee being utterly just stomped on. Very well done. Very well done. Only a 285 engine though? No, that's true. Either the Warhammer or the Battlemaster's fine, whichever one is in better shape. The Warhammer's in better shape, for sure. The Warhammer has some light armor scuffing, 5 damage on a leg, 2 damage on an arm, and like 8 or so damage on the center torso. There's nothing wrong with the Warhammer. Exactly. All that's wrong is the cockpit got crit, which means we might even be able to repair it. All right, we will add the Warhammer to our list of things. Just make sure that we didn't capture anybody. We did not. Lovely. That Banshee is absolutely 110% going to the Bulwark. Sorry, but the amount of pain that he just laid into it was so much. Hammer just lost the head. Didn't even lose the head. Crit the head. The head's actually still there. Draw the machine guns for heat sinks and get it alone. Ah, I see you are also Kiritan. All right, so let's see. The JJ picked up 3, Lady Freya picked up another, and then the Bulwark picked up a final one. Everybody is alive. That is the end of the week. And oh god, that was a painfully dangerous mission, but pretty cool. Yeah, all right, let's check our personnel, make sure everybody's leveling up appropriately. Vanguard has 23 XP. That is not enough for him to level up his piloting. He will need 40 for that. And I don't believe that actually allows you to get any special abilities at the moment. Oh, you can get the boring ones like Eagle Eyes. Human Hero? Oh wow, you can actually get another Human Hero. I don't know if you can hold multiple at the same time though. Painfully dangerous, but man, was it rewarding? It was. Oblique Artilleryman is mostly useless. Pain Resistance, mostly useless. Sensor Geek is completely and totally useless. If any of you guys ever roll Sensor Geek, we'll re-roll it because it's just not useful. Because we don't play the blind mission. I like the Fed Sons as much as anyone, but pulling us from 6 off of Warhammer just ain't right. I don't want another Tiara. Alright, we'll save for you. You have more to save for. K-Ogre has 23. He has a similar problem. He gets nothing. 2 kills on my name, getting back in gear. Yeah, K-Ogre has 23. He is actually... Wow, you've actually mirrored him. I mean, not entirely. He has way more stuff than you do, but still. The K-Ogre up to 23. Talik is at 27. Which means, Talik, you can pick up your next piloting to get you to that even 3-3, which puts you on the verge of being able to next 40 XP to afford your elite level up. I get nothing and I'll like it. Okay. The Lady Freya is at 19. Lady Freya is not staring at a level up anyway. Stramici, similar problem. He is at 27, but he needs 40 to improve. Wait. Yeah, 40 to improve his piloting, although he can take a interim ability if he desires it. Kerrigan needs to go to Medpit. Saving for missile spec and cluster hitter. Got it. Charger is 4 XP away from getting his piloting a mech. And then Sentinel is at 9 XP, not enough. 11 XP is not enough for Ward to pick up anything. Brick is at 12, he needs another 8. And then Sharp is at 31. He is 9 away from being able to get something at a 40 XP, which will be pretty fun. Stormwind saving XP for Sniper. Adigan Tavis is at 2. And Iceman in the field at 25. He needs another 15, and that'll be his elite level up. He did get one of the best... yeah, he did roll Energy Specialist, I believe, for his veteran upgrade. Dragon is at 0. He recently became an elite, and he got Gunnery Specialization Energy, I thought? Or it might have been Iron Man. Let's see. Grizzly is at 13. Not enough for anything. Thunder is at 15. He needs to be 5 to get his gunnery up to the appropriate level. Ginger is at 25. He needs another 15 before he can buy anything, unless he wants to buy a level 20 something. Warden wants a human TRO or whatever Vanguard he got. He got human TRO. Let's see. You are at 27. All right, we can give you human TRO. That will increase your critical chance by +1. So instead of needing to roll an 8, you will need to roll a 7. Abilities, human TRO, mech. So now mechs are more vulnerable to you if you crit. Alright, where were we? Black Sheep is 30-30, he's 10 away. And then we have Sunburn, 4-3, he is 9 away from being able to afford something. The Phoenix Hawk DML driven by lightning is actually at level. Ooh. Raging Cypher, you are at your veteran level up if you want to take it. Piloting or gunnery. This will give you 1 free ability on top of that because you will be becoming a veteran. Yeah, more critical. It is very nice. Although, at the same time, human TRO vehicles would actually probably be very useful. Raging Cypher wants gunnery, and he becomes a cluster hitter. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not... It doesn't fit with your current mech. We'll have to build into that. Something like that. No, you got cluster hitter, which is phenomenal. We're over into edit mode. Abilities. Cluster hitter from A Time of War. A pilot with this ability gets +1 to the cluster table. It's useful if we start putting you into missiles or, LB autocannons, which would be fun. You guys are not allowed to see Harper's stuff. It's a secret. Kenzie is a veteran at 3-4. She has Sandblaster. And then Shadow Wolf is at 4-3. He is 19 away from his next level up. And Ghost is 5 away from his next level up, although Ghost has now shifted off the line because he is now in reserve. Guess I'm going SRMs. I suppose that does pigeonhole you a little bit. Alrighty, we have a lot of repair work to get done now. Like, a lot of repair work. Yeah, the right arm is impossible to fix because of that shoulder. I'm gonna have to salvage that right arm entirely. Let's set that up immediately so I don't have to think about it later. Yeah. Pull this off. Pull this off. Off. That off. You failed? God darn. You needed a 4. Repair. Go all. Got component. Do I have a replacement? I do. How much XP for tactics? Let's see. Cool cards. Who are you in this again? Cool cards? Anthol, Reggie, Yosomav, Sans, Embry, Big, Brigado, Storm, Mustadia, Spirits, Arjack, Kyogre, Vanguard. Wait, cool cards, who are you in this again? Sorry, I'm not remembering for some reason. It's escaping me. Now I just gotta say for someone to get on. So little time remaining for repairs. It all got used up by Boa. I mean, Boa was pretty messed up. Let's be honest with ourselves. So in order to pick up tactics, spend XP, current skills, you don't have tactics in his ability, so it'd be a new skill intro, and it would be free for basically no level in tactics. So you'll have a tactics 0, which doesn't help you. But if you spend XP again, your next tactics is at 10, so plus 9. So you are not at a level where you can get tactics, although I have placed it on the roster as something that you are interested in. Let's see, let's also check edge on people. Where was it again? It's fluff information, I think. Tactic. Admin. Normal is obviously not. I could have sworn there was a place where it showed this, but I suppose not. Huh. At the moment, by the way, for those of you interested in the kill roster, Vanguard is out front rather significantly, followed by the legendary Legionary Maverick Borshield. They used to be neck and neck, 63, and then it looks like Thorn and Warden are duking it out for 3rd place. Both are Lance leaders, both are very skilled, both are 3-2 pilots. Yeah, this will be close. Armor needs to be on X. Cool, saving for tactics. Got it. We are getting close there. Forgot to add Sproke's name, but I'll mess with that later. But yeah, for some reason, some of you do not appear to have your edge, and that's kind of bugging me a little bit. Let's see. Edge 5, 2, 3, 2, 2, 5, 4, 1. Ah, so Rick only has 1 edge, that's why. As does several others. He's still operating at a low level of edge. We'll have to keep that in mind. Harper has killed 3 souls. Yeah, Harper was fielded back during the ambush that you guys made on the negotiations with Psycho. He was fielded, I believe, in a Marauder. If we're potentially getting more reservists, best start preparing for commanding the reservists. This is the number of pilots that we will have. Although we may prune through a couple of things. But that's for later. Alright, repair bay. Just so much repair needs to be doing. I'll have to do this off screen. We are at the end of this contract. So the contract ends on the 26th. It is the 15th. We are 11 days before the end of the contract. Less than 2 weeks. Next week, I don't know if I'm not sure what I'm going to do about next week. If I'll run you guys to the end of the contract or not, and see how it works. I wasn't there for that, but it would explain why my old cockpit has some degree of prior customization. I mean, we are a reinforced company in strength. We are a battalion in strength, dude. We're 22 mechs, 23 mechs, and an entire attached artillery division, an entire air wing. We have an entire platoon of infantry. Like, this is a huge ass company at this point. We're practically a battalion. Could do an aero battle? I could add an aero battle to have next week some light work, and then the week after. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Not quite sure when the final assault will be. There will be a final mission for the final assault on Olympus, where you will duel to the death. Probably not. But theoretically, I mean, you guys have killed people before at this point, against Zeus himself and his defenders. It'll be interesting to see just how aggressive you are going to be. I'll need to get that poll up to see if you guys are going to go full aggression on this to make sure you get there before the 233rd or not. Or the 23rd? Yeah, 23rd mechanized. It's always death. Hopefully not. You're either under strength battalion or a reinforced company, more reinforced company. I think we're under strength battalion. I mean, 20 mechs, man. We're 4 mechs short of 2 companies. Kind of expecting Jester to harass us? We'll see. Now, if only there was a fire bee that wasn't primitive. Yeah, the fire bee that's primitive, they've been using as a lifter. All right, let's put an end to the YouTube, and then we'll have our final talk with Twitch, and then we will move on. So, to my YouTube people, thank you very much for watching. I have been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see the notification every single time I release one of these videos. Press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Ta-ta.